Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is the Monday painting video. For everyone that's new, the Monday painting video is a painting video that's voted on by you guys, my viewers, from last week's Weekly Wednesday. I show you a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for the Monday painting video. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second, guys. Right, so as you can see, and as you've seen by the thumbnail, the Chaos Terminators won the vote to be painted today, which is absolutely, I'm absolutely happy with that because I wanted to get them done not last Thursday, the Thursday before the battle report, and I didn't get time to do it. It's first time, last week's Weekly Wednesday was the first time they were entered into the vote and voted on straight away, so that shows me you guys are interested in these models. Before I start setting up my wet palette and start talking through and all that, there's two things I want to talk about. First thing is, I could have copped out and gone, okay, they're all Black Legion. That's my Chaos faction I'd take. So I could have painted them gold trim, black armor, and gone, yay. I'm not going to do that because I want them to have a mark of Chaos, so they're going to have a bit of colour on them. Been racking my brains. I don't know what one to go with yet. I still don't know. I'm thinking maybe Khorne. I don't know, but I will need to have a unit of Chaos Terminators, okay, for each Chaos God with Reporter Cannon, and then one for Undivided Reporter Cannon, and then the same again but with Heavy Flamers. You know, so there's no panic. I still need to do 7 more, 4, 5, 8 more, 9 more units. So there's no panic. But the second thing I want to talk about, something massive I'm building this week. I hopefully have it up for Tuesday, tomorrow. But if not, I'll be aiming for Thursday, and then tomorrow I'll just quickly build, not quickly build, but build something that's I think is very quick and easy. But I'm going to give you a sneaky peek on what I'm going to be building this week. The Rogel Dawn Battle Tank just arrived in on Saturday, so I'm going to be building that this week. Hopefully have it ready for Tuesday, so I don't know. But back to the task at hand. I'm going to set up a wet palette and I'm going to come back to you and run you through my colours. Right, so I'm all over my fingers. So only coat black with the gravel on there, and I've Steel Legion drabbed the gravel, as you can see, nice and easy. Now my wet palette consists of, bear with me, there's a few colours here. Okay, let's start with these one. Vulcan Green, because I need a tiny bit there, because I've used, one of them has I think it's a plasma bolter weapon. Bit of mint green for that. There's some beaten copper. There's some Stormhost silver. There's 2 bits there, because the first bit came out as really watery, and I think the paint I didn't shake it enough. So, some Screaming Skull, Lead Belcher, White Scars, Rhinox Hide. Now there is no pouches, but there is some furs on some of them. Khorne Red, and some Retributor armor. Now, the first thing I think I should do is start with some Khorne Red, just to really start to break these models up. And the first thing I'm going to do is just come in and start looking at these armor panels, but not to get the edging, because there is trim that's going to be gold. This is going to be a painstaking task. Obviously, as always, guys, I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera. I'm going to do a little bit and come off camera and do the rest, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. It's really starting to come together really nicely. But it's like this, let's get in and just do that. Yeah, So I'm going to go off camera and do that on all of them, and then come back to you then. So here we are. So very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with some lead belcher and just pick out all the silver bits, like these bits in here. Yeah, the bits behind the legs, obviously his blade. All of these spikes on his trophy rack, but I'm going to avoid the skulls because, you know, the skulls are a different colour. Any bits of chain mail, there's some chain mail there, so what I'm going to do is just give that a little gentle dry brush, because I want the black to shine through from between the links. And the bolt gun, but with the bolt gun, as most of you know, I don't bother going over the top of different colours and craziness. I'm just going to give it a quick dry brush of silver. Get all this chain as well. Because I think the bolt guns, you know, the weapons are great, don't get me wrong, but they don't need to be red cased weapons with bits of gold trim on it and all that sort of stuff. It's just a gun. You only pick up a 9mm gun, unless you have it custom made, it's going to be, you know, just black and silver. There's a few chains hanging off him. Like just down here, there's a chain. The skull hanging off the back of it. But anyway, I'm going to have camera and do the rest of that, and then do that on all of them. Come back to you then, guys. So here is where we are at the moment. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with some Richie Buterama and painstakingly go around and do all of this trim. It's painstaking business. It takes a long, well, it doesn't take a long time, it takes a good bit of time. But I'm going to do all of that, all of the trim. All the trim around the shoulder pad, on the back here. All of this trim on the back of his legs. Absolutely, I'm going to do all of it on all of them. And then I'll come back to you. I actually chucked some Falcon Green and plasma pistols on a tiny little piece, but yeah, I'm going to do the gold trim and I'm going to come back to you when that's all done. Right, so here's where we're at. Very nice. Now I'm going to come through some Screaming Skull. I'm going to pick out all of the skulls that are hanging off of them. The skulls that are on their trophy racks. Now with the helmets, the Space Marine helmets that are on there, I've decided not to paint those for the minute, or today. The reason why is I want to do them different chapter colours, and I feel if I'm there messing around with helmets and Space Marine, different Space Marine helmets, it's just going to be a waste of time on the video. You know, so Space Marine helmets are Space Marine helmets. You can paint them any which way you want. So all the skulls going to get done. Now Screaming Skull is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. There's no panic when you put it on there and go, oh, that's too bright, it's too much. It will dull itself down, give you a really nice effect afterwards with the skulls. Well, it'll give you a nice effect anyway, but then when we add the next colour to it, they'll really pop off. Right, so there's where we're at. I also painted his face, as you can see, with Screaming Skull. What I'm going to do now is do Screaming Skull on the rest of the guys. And his skull's hanging off like the one on the back of his backside there. And then what I'm going to do, the ones that have horns on them, like on their face, Yeah, I'm going to come in and do that with Screaming Skull as well. Okay, I'm going to get on with the rest of those and I'll come back to you after that. Right, so there's two things we're going to do now. The first thing is, on their guns, they actually have like a face screaming. So I'm going to paint them with some beaten copper, and then I'm going to get the Rhinox hide, and I'm going to do all of these like roby areas that are on them. Okay, if there's any fur, I'm going to paint the fur with the Rhinox hide as well. I don't think this guy has any fur, but that's what I'm going to do. I was going to do it a blue colour, but I said no, because that'd just be actually still good enough for what I have planned. So I'm going to crack on with that across the rest of them. I'm going to come back to you guys when I've done that. Right, so for all intensive purposes, these guys are battle ready. Now you could, with these guys, you could come onto the horns coming off his face and give him some Skeleton Horde contrast paint. You could also, with the eyes, you'd come in with some moot green and just do that. And I might even do that actually with some moot green on the eyes. But yeah. But what we're going to do now, as my regulars know, I'm going to take it to the next stage. So take it past battle ready standard. So now's where the fun begins, really. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some white scars. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to slap it, not fully over the skulls, but just here and there. Just to really pick out bits and pieces on it. They're the white scars. It again is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. Some of his face as well. I've actually seen a very easy way of doing skin, which I'm waiting for the paint to arrive in, and when it does, I'm going to try it. I'm not too happy with that face. But again, I can come over with some bits of Goodman afterwards and just go over it again. Keeps trying to zoom in on the ones behind, unfortunately. With this white scars, when these guys are done, if I'm not happy, I can go over it again with some more white scars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on with the rest of the white scars on the skulls and come back to you after that. Why is he not focusing? Focus. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a second, guys. Right, I actually did their eyes as well. With this guy. Actually did their eyes as well. So now I'm going to come, that's with moot green, sorry. So now I'm going to come in with some Stormhost Silver, and I'm going to edge highlight all of the bladed weapons. The Stormhost Silver is a layer paint again, so it will go and brighten and dull itself down. Probably give it a couple of coats of this, just to really, sorry I just did it off camera. Just doing the bladed part here. So you see it's very, very different. Let's do this side, you can see this side better then. Yeah. Just gonna do all of that. I think it's him, sword and the chain axe. I'm going to do those guys and then I'll come back to you again. Right, so I'm looking at the camera. Now I'm coming with some Wild Wider Red. This is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. And what I'm looking to do is just sort of edge highlight along, just like some flat edges. So like this little bit in here. Just to make it really stand out, really pop. This little edge, I'm not even on camera, good thing I didn't start. This little bit here. Just to make it really just pop off. And this bit of this back side, just so that will go on bright and dull itself down, which is nice. We'll do that on all of them, and then I'll come back to you again. Right, as I come on the sergeant, I painted his face, give him a flesh. I just wasn't happy with the way it looked looked too light. When the other colour arrives, I'm going to test it out that way, and if it works and I like it, then I'll bring it to you guys and show you guys. So the one last thing I'm going to do, well actually, with these helmets, the Space Marine helmets on top of them, yeah, you could easily turn around and say that the Chaos Terminators decided to burn out the helmets because they don't want the trace of the, you know, their fallen brothers on there, Ultramarines or whatever it is, so they burnt them all out, so that's why they paint them all black, that's why they're black. But I will be painting them different Space Marine chapter colours. The idea I've had is, rather than just do these 5, then have to do another 5, I'd rather have squad upon squad of Chaos Terminators, and then just go through and do one, just say Ultramarines on one guy, every single squad, and then the different Space Marine chapter on the helmet, every different squad. But anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is some Druchii Violet, and I'm going to wash the horns. Yeah, so get some Druchii Violet on the horns there. This is a wash, so just be careful because it will try and run off into, it will try to run down to the end of the horns and just wash off. No, it will not wash off but drip off. So I'm going to give that leave that to dry for a little bit. I'm going to go do that with all the rest of them, and I'm going to come back to you again after that, guys, for the last piece. Right, now the final part, I've got some white scars on the brush. Just dry brushed off. I'm going to come along, excuse me, I'm going to come along and I'm going to dry brush all of this cloth. Yeah, if there's any fur on him, I'm then going to dry brush across the fur. It gives me a nice bit of white onto the palette as well. As that will go on, dull itself down, and then look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do that on the rest of them and come back to you for the final bits. Right, so they are done. Now I am going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. I must say to you, I'm not really sold on the Wild Wider Red. It's come out more of an orangey colour. Not really happy with that. So I might even go over just the little straight edge parts that I did with some One Stacker Red, just to get rid of that orangey look. But you'll see when I bring it down to you, when I bring it down and show you the pretty pictures. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, because it costs you absolutely nothing and it helps the channel in a massive way. Turn your notifications on as well so you don't miss any future videos. For everyone else, thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel. Everyone, please smash the thumbs up button, because then it triggers YouTube to share this video with more people, which makes the channel bigger and bigger. Guys, I'm bringing down to show you some pretty pictures. Thank you for voting, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.